Hi, I'm Cyaneink, and this is my new 6-part mini-series for miniature paintings. I'm recently getting again into miniature paintings. I actually like drawing small. I usually draw very small in my sketchbook, and I often enjoy these small paintings and also like stippling work. And this time I'm doing watercolor painting. And in this first episode I'll talk about why I like to work these small paintings. And the first reason is they are smaller. They use much less material. I can't say that they take less time because this took as much time as larger painting, because it isn't fast to do. You have to use teeny tiny brush and do all these details, and they have to be accurate. That's one thing I actually really like to do, really accurate, demanding task, and the miniature painting is one of them, because you have to be really accurate. If you let's say you are drawing portrait and nose is 2 millimeters too high. If you work in larger scale, that's not an issue, but if your whole painting is 2 centimeters high, then that's the problem, because it's 10% off. So that's that. Everything have to be exactly. But in this painting, as you can see, there's orchid hanging from the moon, so that's not anyway, it's not that accurate, but I have to have accurate how the leaves are forming and the blooms and how the shadows go, so it's a little bit demanding. I like working miniatures because they often are. I like how they are displayed in the middle of, in large frame where there's lots of this white space, and the miniature painting middle of it. Because I have seen every time people see those miniature paintings presented like that, they go closer to look the painting, and that's something that I really like personally. I like when people see the painting and they have this urge to go closer to see it properly. I think it's really interesting thing for art. And also these paintings, they are worked in series. There are 6 paintings in this series, and it's much easier to do these miniature paintings in series because I can display them side by side, and it's much easier to take photo than take large. Imagine that there would be 6 paintings that are A3 size. It's really hard to get photo of every painting and then present them in in one photo. So I like when these miniature paintings, they are in series, I can show all of this easily in one picture, and I think that's communicates much better in what this series is all about, because I can actually say this series is all about moon, orchids, and lamps. 3 themes that seems like they wouldn't go together, but I'm sure they will go really greatly together. And when working with miniature, the most thing that I really enjoy is that they save so much paint, and it's really more easier to mix paints, because often when I mix colors, I run out of the color, and it's really hard to mix exactly the same color twice. So by doing these miniature paintings, even if I mix little color, I can paint the whole painting with it. I have been really enjoying painting this, and I think it's because watercolor has this little bit texture going on. I think by doing these miniature paintings, the texture gets more pronounced. In this painting, I use really wonderful Daniel Smith Lunar Black, which is really heavily granulating, and I use that in black shadows, and I think it's look brilliant in this painting. And also I use it a little bit on the craters and those kind of things, but it looks so great, and the granulation really shows up, because it's compared to how small this painting is, it looks so large scale thing, and it's really hard to do on larger painting because the granulation isn't that pronounced there. I think that was all the good side. There's also the bad side. One thing is that because I film my paintings, filming miniature painting is hard. I actually used 4 hours just to edit this video, and not counting the voiceover and recording, because every time I moved my hand to mix paint, I crossed the whole the painting area and blocked the whole view. and that's not that large problem when doing larger scale paintings. But in this case, it was like blocking the whole view, and I just had to like cut those parts out. And trust me, there were many parts. Every time I like take water or something, I just block the whole area. So it was really annoying thing to edit. And also, my camera has to be really, really close to the picture to get the like good view, and that's creates problems with my tripod because that makes the center of balance shift, and tripod will be really wobbly and it will be easily fall over, so I had to be really careful with that. And also camera is like literally on my face, so if I try to stick my head on the painting like I usually do, I will like move my camera, and that's very annoying in filming because then it's show the shakiness on the footage. Other thing that really bothers me are brushes, because brushes have these hairs, and when you're doing miniature paintings, those hairs feel huge. If you have one stray hair that like pointing isn't like pointed the same way as others, it can make line that's like really pronounced, and it's really annoying because brushes have to be really, really good. I'm using Escoda Reserva Timer brushes. They are the Reserva line, which is like real sable hair. I often use only sable hair brushes, but yeah, I really like using really good quality brushes that hold their point well, because I need those fine lines. I need those sharp points. And I also earlier speak about mistakes. And in these miniature paintings, mistakes feel huge. Even if you like drop droplet of water on your painting, and in larger scale it's not maybe big deal, but here it is big deal if I let the one droplet of my brush to dip on the paper. So that's why I had paper, and I tapped my brush every time I see that there was like this water droplet on ferrule. So I picked that water droplet before it's like reached to my painting, and that's really it's always important in watercolors, but in these miniature paintings it was like especially important because it can ruin whole piece. Some places you see that I have the water droplet on my brush, so I didn't catch that every time, but luckily no water droplet on my painting. And this video is approaching to its end, and hope you enjoyed this. And this is a little bit different than I usually do, but I will do this 6-part series where I'll talk about different aspects of watercolor painting miniatures, and there are sometimes like universal things, not always on the watercolor things, but I think next time I will talk about tools and techniques I used in these miniature paintings, and hope I see you in my next video. Bye!